What's up, enthusiasts? It's your boy Rob, back with another video. Guys, happy new year. This is my first video for the new year. Where have I been? I don't know, just here getting things done, but I am happy I'm back on with you guys, and thank you for watching another video. Go ahead and hit the like button. We are going to take a different approach at this video. We're going to actually be looking at some real world situations versus our tabletop situations. And we've got a new president here in the United States. If you guys aren't aware, if you guys have been hiding under a rock, Trump is back in office. Love him or hate him, he is a character, and he is going to make things very interesting for our country. Signing a lot of executive orders. Again, I know a lot of people that's a very tense situation with some of the things that are being signed, but we're not going to talk about that really today. We're going to be looking at essentially what he is planning to do about this war in the Ukraine.
He's unpacked his socks and settled back into his old room. Now Donald Trump is ready to turn his attention to Ukraine. The newly reminted president is threatening Vladimir Putin, urging him to end the war the easy way or the hard way.
The war in Ukraine is about to enter its fourth year, despite this ironclad guarantee.
If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
Let's check in with the presidency clock and, well, I guess he didn't specify which 24 hours. But despite the missed deadline, Trump's not forgotten Ukraine, taking to social media to tell Putin he should settle now and stop the war, and that no more...
I mean, guys, regardless of whatever's being fought over in any war, you know, it's a hard situation for those on the ground, for the soldiers on both sides, the civilians who are always caught in the middle. Heart goes out to those guys. It aches, man. And it's a position I'm fortunate to have never been in, and will hopefully never be in. But again, for those people that find themselves amongst war, you know, I just hope that you guys are always safe. And if anyone that is in a situation like that watches this content, guys, let us know down in the comments. Let us know that you're doing okay. Let us know that you're in that situation, and we'll keep our prayers going out to you.
Lives should be lost. And Donald must have had a movie on in the background, because one of Hollywood's favorite go-to lines...
Sonny, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
It was the easy way or the hard way.
The easy way, you got the hard way.
Right.
You know, I never thought about that, but that is so true. That is like a line you will hear in any action movie, in every action movie. So, yeah, that's now... Every time I watch a movie from this point forward, I'm going to be looking for that phrase.
Way into his post.
Now, boys, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
It's not entirely clear what the hard way is, but we do know what the opening gambit will be.
If Vladimir Putin doesn't come to the table to negotiate with you, will you put additional sanctions on Russia?
Sounds likely.
The thing is, Russia has already been...
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how well sanctions work. I don't know if they've really been working in the past. And I don't know if they'll work in the future. I don't know.
Under severe sanctions since the war began, with billions of dollars worth of restrictions placed on its finances and trade by the US, Europe and Australia, and America blacklisting Russia's biggest oil companies just 2 weeks ago. And none of these moves has proven a deterrent, which might be why Vlad's in such a good mood.
He showed courage to win in a convincing manner. We congratulate the US president-elect on taking office.
Sad for Vlad, Trump did not respond in kind.
He can't be thrilled. He's not doing so well. I think he's destroying Russia by not making a deal.
Trump's new hardline approach surprising, given the romantic vibes that coloured his first term.
President Putin was extremely
the horse,
strong
yeah, I
and
do.
powerful.
I knew that photo was coming, man. That him on the horse. That's like, that's such a meme.
Do you have a relationship with Vladimir Putin?
So can a deal finally be reached to end this war?
Oh man, look at that APC just burnt out like that. Let's see if I can... Yeah, look at that. Oh, God. That, I mean, hopefully there was no crew in there when whatever hit it hit it. I'm assuming like maybe a drone or something. I don't know. That's probably more than a drone, but maybe a few drones or...
This war, and will Putin opt for the easy way?
Don't you take the easy way out.
What easy way? There is no easy way.
Maybe there is. Here to do it the easy way is Tom Switzer, Executive Director at the Centre for Independent Studies. Tom, all this tough talk from Trump, is that what's going to do it? Is that what will end the war?
Who knows with Trump? He's such an erratic and unpredictable character.
He really is.
But my sense is that the Russians are in the driver's seat in Ukraine. They control about 20 to 22% of Ukraine. So I think if there's any real meaningful peace deal, the Americans would probably have to capitulate to Russian demands. And I don't...
Yeah. You know, I mean, obviously Zelensky's got his back against a wall probably at this point. And it seems like with the shift politically, at least here in the United States, I don't see the same amount of aid going to Ukraine. But you know, only time will tell. I think, I mean, Trump calls himself like what, the deal maker or whatever he calls himself. I mean, so this would be the perfect time for him to show up and essentially work on some kind of deal between the two countries. But they really need to come to a table and figure out how to negotiate.
I think even Donald Trump is capable of doing that.
What about sanctions? Could they do it?
I don't think sanctions.
Well, as Waleed pointed out in his clip there, the Western countries, including Australia, have imposed a lot of tough sanctions on Russia, and all things considered, the Russians have weathered those sanctions. It's the Ukrainians who are really losing out here. They've lost 1/5 of their territory, 1/3 of their population, and they're in all sorts of trouble here. So, unfortunately, Russia's in the driver's seat here.
Given that, how do you think Putin will be responding to this from Trump?
Well, he will want conditions from the Americans. The Russians will want the 20 to 22% of Ukraine, of eastern Ukraine and Crimea that they currently occupied. Oof. They would want that legally recognised by the Americans and the international community. That's unlikely. And of course, the Russians have made it very clear they want Ukraine to be neutral. That is, not part of NATO.
Yeah.
And so long as Ukraine...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like again, I'm not that steeped in the whole like that territory, but of like Ukraine, and the whole situation with them joining NATO, it just seems like it would just be better for them not to join NATO, in my opinion. I mean, them being right there on the border of Russia, I mean, that would be, I feel like that's the same situation like we had with like the whole, like the Cuban thing back in like, I guess that was the 80s, with just having an opposing country be able to have military bases like so close to you. And again, I don't know, maybe there are other bases surrounding Russia, but I'm assuming this is one step too far as far as if Ukraine were to be able to join NATO. But I don't, I don't feel like it was worth the destruction and devastation this has caused so far for a seat at the table of NATO, if that was kind of the main goal they set out for originally.
Ukrainian membership in NATO is on the table. That just provides
and that's not to say that Ukraine started anything, obviously. Obviously they were attacked, so.
Powerful incentives for the Russians to continue the fighting.
So the picture you're painting is a great one for Russia. It means despite this war not going at all the way they perhaps planned and would have wanted, they've come out the other side, or might be coming out the other side with what they want. So when Trump sort of, it's kind of a threat, isn't it? The easy way or the hard way. What would the hard way be? Like, you've got to have some leverage or something, don't you, if you want to threaten the hard way?
Well, that's why I don't think there's any meaningful peace deal on the tables unless the Americans give a lot more to the Russians and the Ukrainians. And I just think that's highly unlikely. Now, remember, the last time Trump was in the White House, Waleed, the United States expanded NATO further eastwards. They supplied lethal weapons to Ukraine. They launched missile strikes against Russia's then client state, Syria, led by Assad. These kind of decisions just outraged the Kremlin and increased East-West tensions. So Russians may be entitled to think that with Trump...
Look at that destruction, man. Look at those buildings. That's crazy. Just think. I mean, those are people's homes there, man, and they're just demolished. You know, those buildings are not livable. You know, now clearly, oof.
Back in the White House,
you know, like you would think that any side would see that image and just be like, yo, listen, we got to sit down and we have to come up with some sort of arrangement, some sort of compromise, you know, because this ain't it right here.
Enemies.
Well, why is Trump taking such a different tone now with Putin? Is the bromance over? Has he met a younger, hotter Russian president?
No.
Where'd that laugh track come from? I was busy laughing myself. It was a little, it gave me a chuckle. I mean, it made me laugh. But I was like, wait, the laugh track just was so like out of nowhere. I mean, if you guys watch The Project, if you guys are subscribed to these guys, which, you know, definitely this looks like an Australian news outlet. So definitely give them a like. But yeah, the laugh track, please tell them to not use that ever again.
Is that Trump wants to end the war, and he's distinguished himself from Biden and much of the US foreign policy establishment insofar as that he's recognised that Russia is just playing hardball to protect its vital interests in its near abroad. You know, they don't want NATO, they don't want Ukraine being part of NATO because from Russia's perspective, that's just a Western bulwark on its borders. And that goes against the conventional wisdom in Washington and Brussels and Canberra and London and elsewhere that Russia is bent on creating an empire and gobbling up all of Ukraine, including Kyiv, before they have their sights set on Eastern and Central Europe. Russia is bogged down in Ukraine. They're bogged down in Donbass. The idea that they're capable of doing a Nazi Germany and expanding their empire is laughable, and I think Trump knows that.
Tom, thanks for your time.
Guys, that's the video. This one's, again, this is what's going on in our world. Very serious topic for this channel, but I mean, I wanted to make sure that coming into this new year, we were doing things that were on the table and off the table, but definitely, you know, I'm wargaming first. I want to know if you guys believe that Trump can get this deal worked out between the Ukraine and Russia. Not saying, you know, you are a Trump supporter. If you are, that's good. If you're not, I don't care either. That's good too. There's going to always be people with different stance on things. I don't think you should ever full-heartedly or wholeheartedly follow someone and believe in all of their ideologies and their ideas. So you should be able to question a little bit of everything. But anyway, guys, like I said, I want you to go ahead in the comments. Let me know, do you think Trump will get this deal worked out? And I will see what you guys say. Maybe I'll even put up a poll on it. Other than that, guys, go over to The Project. I'm pretty sure they've got other great videos that's very informative. I'll make sure I leave a link down in the description and also other helpful links as well. We've got Battle Space that's selling like hotcakes. So guys, if you haven't got a copy of Battle Space yet, go get you a copy of Battle Space, and I'll see you when I see you.